Hello and welcome. I'm Scott Dennis. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll get to those stories in just a moment. But first, a very early start to the hurricane season. Meteorologist John Scalzi is here with the latest. John?
How about that, Scott? Here we go already, right? It's way too early, but a month and a half too early. June 1st, of course, the official start of hurricane season, but way out in the Atlantic, here we are, Florida, and way out in the Atlantic, we have a newly formed tropical depression. This subtropical depression, I should say. There's a difference between tropical depressions and subtropical depressions. A subtropical depression is born of a non-tropical low, and occasionally they can become organized enough and acquire enough tropical characteristics that the Hurricane Center will consider this a storm that gets a subtropical classification and can actually become a named storm if it gets stronger. This system located right there has now got enough organization that it can become a classified system, a tropical depression, but a subtropical depression. The strongest winds from this system are located far away from where the center of the storm is, and that's one of the characteristics of a subtropical depression. Also, the fact that the system was born of a old frontal boundary, plus the fact that it has warm winds at the center, but also aloft. There's still a low pressure area, not a high pressure area like we would classically see in a tropical system. The thing is, this system is forecast to move away from any land masses, even though it does have some good strong winds around it, 35-mile-an-hour winds. It is going to bother no one, and no watches or warnings have been issued. But there have only been 4 in history, according to NOAA, of tropical storms or tropical systems, depressions or subtropical depressions forming this early in the hurricane season. So it's of note, it's interesting, though it doesn't necessarily mean much about what the hurricane season will be down the road. It certainly does cause us to remember that it's just around the corner and preparation time is now. Scott.
Okay, John, thank you. Former NFL tight end Aaron Hernandez was found dead inside his jail cell early this morning. The former New England Patriot apparently committing suicide on the same day. The Patriots are scheduled to visit the White House to celebrate their Super Bowl win. ABC's Emily Rao has more on this developing story.
It was here at this Shirley, Massachusetts prison that former NFL star Aaron Hernandez ended his life. Prison guards discovering the 27-year-old just after 3 o'clock this morning. Hernandez using a bed sheet he attached to a window to hang himself, blocking his cell door from the inside by jamming it with various items.
Guilty of murder in the first degree or guilty of murder in the second degree?
Not guilty.
His death coming just days after he was found not guilty for the 2012 murder of 2 men. Hernandez wiping away tears as the jury read the verdict, mouthing "I love you" to his fiancée. Prosecutors had argued the 2 men were gunned down after one of them accidentally spilled a drink on Hernandez in a Boston nightclub. But Hernandez still serving a life sentence without the possibility of parole for the 2013 shooting of his friend Odin Lloyd, a semi-professional football player who was dating his fiance's sister. Hernandez rose to fame as an All-American tight end at the University of Florida, winning the 2009 national championship. He went on to play for the New England Patriots from 2010 to 2012, signing a 5-year, $40 million contract, but was cut from the team in June of 2013 following his arrest in the Lloyd murder. Patriots coach Bill Belichick was asked about Hernandez just the other day.
Tragedy.
His answer in one single word.
Officials haven't found a suicide note. Hernandez was in general population, officials saying that there was no indication he might hurt himself. Emily Rao, ABC News, New York.
And as we mentioned, Hernandez's former team, the Patriots, leaving this morning for Washington, D.C. They'll be celebrating their Super Bowl win at the White House. But the man who helped them get there will not be attending. Quarterback Tom Brady is missing the ceremony due to personal family matters. At least 5 other Patriots also declined the invitation for various reasons, including opposition to President Trump's politics. Here at home, firefighters called to a Sarasota boat ramp early this morning to handle a boat fire. It happened around 5:15 a.m. at the 10th Street boat ramp. When they got there, they say the boat was fully engulfed in flames on a trailer in the parking lot. No one was inside of it or hurt. The fire was fully contained within about 10 minutes. The state fire marshal is now investigating the incident as an arson. In Central Florida, an evacuation order has been lifted in Haines City after a massive fire at a pallet company. The fire broke out early this morning just before 3 a.m. One firefighter was hurt, but fire chief says he's expected to be okay. Hundreds of homes were ordered to evacuate. but county officials lifted the order just before 8:30. The fire also forced the shutdown of a highway in both directions. The cause of the fire still not known. Here at home, a Palmetto man charged with second-degree murder is back in court today. 83-year-old Eugene Matthews is accused of shooting and killing Rebecca Rawson. In January, investigators say Rawson went to Matthews' home with her daughter and brother-in-law looking for their lost dog. That's when investigators say Matthews started shooting. One of the rounds hit Rawson, who was in a car, killing her. We'll have the outcome of Matthews' court appearance today at 5 o'clock. We're learning more this afternoon about a Sarasota woman arrested for having what some called a drug flop house. Deputies say 37-year-old Danielle Baggett allowed people to stay at her home on Lockwood Ridge Road in exchange for drugs and created an environment for them to get high. Deputies say they responded to the home more than 30 times since August for drug arrests, wanted persons, and disputes. Those who live in the neighborhood say they're glad to see law enforcement cracking down.
Walking my dogs by here every day, it was quite a little uncomfortable. I didn't really like to walk alone by the house per se because of the type of things of people I saw going on.
I think it's good, you know, they're doing their job. They're helping keep the community safer. I'm all for it.
Baggett is currently free on bail. Preparations are being finalized for this year's World Rowing Championships. The 6-story finish tower is nearly complete. The $5 million tower will overlook the course at Nathan Benderson Park. The building includes hurricane-resistant windows, open observation decks, and seating areas that step down to the lakeside. There are also offices for the Suncoast Aquatic Nature Center, or SANCA. The tower is expected to be done by early June. The rowing championships begin in late September. Time now to get over the kitchen for the first time and check in with ABC 7 Culinary Director Judy Gallagher and see what she's cooking for us today. Hi, Judy.
Hi there, Scott. I'm going to make a cream of asparagus soup, and I'm going to top it with a little crab meat and some fried shiitake mushrooms. So it really becomes the main event. All you need with that is some crusty bread, and you've got a true meal. Asparagus means spring to me, so I think it's just a really good combination. If you want to leave it vegetarian, you can use vegetable stock instead of chicken stock, which I'll be using today, and obviously omit the crab meat. But either way, I think you're going to find it a delicious soup and a delicious way to prepare your dinner tonight. I'll be back in just a few minutes to get started.
The official Suncoast Storm team at ABC 7. We're here for you.
Hi, I'm Chef Judy. Every Wednesday morning, I'll be with the chefs at the Publix Aprons Cooking School serving up the most wonderful dishes. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday on ABC 7's Good Morning Suncoast.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. We promise we're more than a dealership. We're a destination with a movie theater, massage room, aquarium, cafe, and more. We promise to give you top dollar for your trade, even if you don't buy from us. And if you do, we promise you the best deal. Bring us any competitor's ad and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
When you want to get away from it all, to a place where you can do everything, or nothing at all, surrounded by natural beauty and all the modern amenities you might desire, then you'll want to be here at the Wannabe Inn on the beautiful shores of Manasota Key, Florida. To plan your escape, log on to wannabeinn.com.
At Bacon Furniture's spring clearance event, we've slashed prices on our most popular styles. Look for the red balloons for the biggest savings. Save 30, 50, even 70% off throughout the showroom. Bedrooms, dining rooms, sofas, chairs, recliners, and so much more. All at the lowest prices of the season. Don't miss the spring clearance event going on now only at Bacon's Furniture and Design in Sarasota. Nobody beats Bacon's.
With Granny Nannies, they get to stay in the comfort of their own home.
It still gives them the dignity and the respect that they deserve. I do everything I can to make their lives easier.
To see them smile, to be there on their bad days as well as their good days, and be able to make their bad days a better day. It's about giving them the quality of life they deserve. I am Granny Nannies, a helping hand and a gentle heart.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
Now, the official Suncoast weather with ABC7 meteorologist John Scalzi.
A very warm, steamy day today. We have a temperature of 82 degrees currently and a dew point of 57. Dew point has fallen just a little bit over the last couple of hours, which is great. I love it in the 50s. I'm sure they will rise back again this afternoon into the 60s. East wind coming in at about 14. Mix of sun and clouds out there. We have a slight chance of seeing a shower around as our winds shift from east to southeast. They're up and elevated just a little bit because high pressure is in the process of building in. 80 in Wauchula, 81 Myakka, Arcadia, Parrish, Bradenton, 78 Longboat Key, 82 in Sarasota, 81 in Venice, and 79 in Inglewood. So the little trough of low pressure that we had yesterday that helped to encourage the cloud cover and aided in producing a little bit of the rain shower activity that we had. And we didn't have much. The total accumulations were in the hundredths of an inch if you were lucky enough to have any at all. But there were some spotty patches of drizzle and showers around. The winds today will be more out of the east initially, but southeast as we head into the afternoon, and it may produce a shower or two brought over from the other coast. But watch as this little trough of low pressure's effect on Florida is reduced as it moves further away. A little area of drier air moving in is going to help reduce our rain chances today from where we were yesterday. Drop them down by 10, maybe 15%. High pressure also building in, promising us some slightly more stable air aloft, and that promises fewer showers as well. The low pressure areas to the north of us stay to the north of us, but they will be a focal point for thunderstorm activity today in parts of the country. For us, the easterly, southeasterly wind flow developing brings another moisture plume our way and brings us about maybe a 10 to 20% chance of showers. 10% in Sarasota, Venice, Manatee County, and then down in Charlotte County, I think we could probably go with about 20%. So mostly sunny skies, only an isolated shower, and this east wind continues with a little bit cooler coast as we do develop a small sea breeze today. Unfortunately, we did not get a lot of rain, and consequently, the fire danger indexes across the region remain high. That's unfortunate, but it certainly did not do much to, certainly in the drought. It did temporarily aid in the fire weather situation and the ability of firefighters to handle fires that started, but that effect is going away rapidly. Titan radar not showing any rainfall across our region, and again to the north of us there are some scattered showers along that front I showed you, but the Atlanta airport, the Raleigh, Durham, and Charlotte airports are functioning just fine. Now the Chicago airport may see a little bit of a problem later on today as showers move closer to that area. So if you're traveling to the Chicago airport this afternoon, could be some airport delays. It'll be the bullseye tomorrow from Cleveland down to Cincinnati back through Indianapolis for some stronger storms if you're traveling. But again, the state of Florida pretty much without any significant rainfall again tomorrow and probably through the weekend till we get to next work week when we'll begin to see a frontal boundary move in Sunday night into Monday morning, bringing us a 40% chance of some showers. Hopefully we'll get some of that much needed rain. Scott?
All right, John, thank you. Former President George H.W. Bush is still recovering in the hospital after being admitted for a mild case of pneumonia. A source close to the former president says he's been receiving antibiotics and will probably be kept at the hospital for a few more days for observation. The 92-year-old has been at the Methodist Hospital in Houston since Friday. The trees, shrubs, and plants outside your home might offer something more than just some pretty scenery. A new study finds that living in or near green areas can help women live longer and improve mental health. Researchers from Harvard School of Public Health studied more than 100,000 women, and they found women living in homes in the greenest areas had a 12% lower death rate than women living in the least green areas. The group believes they'll see similar results when they start to look at men's health as well. A judge in Jacksonville is doing more than just handing down the law. At noon on the last Friday of every month, Judge Eleni Durkee leads a free yoga class on the front lawn of the courthouse. Courtroom bailiffs sometimes tease about it, but the judge says yoga provides a few moments of peace during an otherwise stressful day. She's even been known to urge jurors to take a stretch and take deep breaths during lengthy trials. Dirk has been teaching yoga since 2014. She says she'll continue the classes this year until the weather gets too hot in the summer. Still to come in your Suncoast News, Georgia's special congressional election is heading now for a runoff. And it's an annual event that brings hundreds of yachts, fishing boats, and cruisers to the Sarasota Bayfront. We'll have details in this year's Suncoast Boat Show.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, A-N-D, services.com.
ABC 7 News at 7 weeknights. ABC 7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you weeknights at 5.
I was always worried and scared. Mom was in pain. She wasn't going to get any better, and all the trips to the ER were painful for all of us. Then we called Tidewell Hospice, and everything changed. Now she has care in our home when she needs it, surrounded by family. We know we don't have much time left with Mom, but we decided to make the best out of that time. Tidewell Hospice, it's more than you think.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Everyone loves a bright and cheerful smile. Not everyone can find the dental care they need and can afford. Now there's a place nearby where anyone can receive professional quality dental care at an affordable cost. The LECOM School of Dental Medicine in Lakewood Ranch is now accepting patients. You will receive your care in comfortable, state-of-the-art treatment rooms. To schedule your appointment, please call the LECOM Dental Group practices, 941-405-1600. We will be happy to see you smiling again.
Need more space in your place? The More Space Place can help with Murphy beds that disappear to reveal a home office, living room, or den. Custom closets with designated areas for your shoes, bags, wardrobe, and accessories. Custom-built entertainment centers, garage storage systems, and more. The More Space Place has 3 showrooms next to Sonny's on US 41 South in Sarasota, on Lakewood Ranch Boulevard just south of State Route 64 in Bradenton, and on Tamiami Trail next to Panera Bread in Port Charlotte. Put more space in your place at the More Space Place.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, A-N-D, services.com.
Pittsburgh Pirates will be without their star outfielder for half the season. Major League Baseball handing down an 80-game suspension to Starling Marte after testing positive for a performance-enhancing drug. That drug was a steroid called Nandrolone. Pirates management says the team is disappointed that Marte put himself, his teammates, and the organization in this position. But the general manager of the team says the team has to keep pressing on.
Obviously, we'll miss him for 80 games. At the same time, we've got to continue to move forward, and we will do that as an organization. We'll do everything we can to support him. And
baseball's new drug agreement also means Marte is ineligible to play in the 2017 postseason. If the playoffs advance to the playoffs, he is eligible to return to the team in mid-July. In less than an hour, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers will be making a major announcement. Florida Football Insiders reporting the team will be the subject of HBO's Hard Knocks series, which chronicles a team as it goes through training camp. Hard Knocks gives viewers access to nearly everything that happens during camp. HBO and NFL Films camera crews will document the team and its players on the field and off of it. And while some teams have claimed all those cameras can be a distraction, Bucs coaches are confident the team can handle the bright spotlight. The Sarasota Open tennis tourney is underway in Bradenton. It started over the weekend at the United Tennis Club at El Conquistador. These young professionals are trying to work their way up into the top tier of tennis, and they come from all over the world to play here. Sarasota Open will wrap up on Sunday. Also this weekend, hundreds of boats will be on display at the Suncoast Boat Show in Sarasota. This is the 35th year of the show, and it's expected to be the largest one yet. Joining us now to talk more about the show is the event's Vice President of Marketing, Brett Keating. Brett, thanks for being with us again today.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure.
This is a fun event if you like boats, and it's really something for the whole family, isn't it?
It's great. We have a huge show this year, over 250 boats on display. It's getting bigger every year. What's new and exciting is that we have a kids fishing clinic that's on Saturday at noon and 2 and Sunday at 1 and 3. And what makes it special is that kids get hands-on experience to learn how to cast a rod and reel. They learn how to identify different types of fish species and what kind of lures to use. And every single child gets a free prize at the end. So it's really a lot of fun. But what I think most people are interested in are what kind of boats are going to be at the show. And we have many new boats, all the big players from MarineMax, Galati, Visage, Sarah Bay, Sarasota Yacht and Ship. They will all be there with a full display. We have some brand new boats that have never been seen before. We've got 5 or 6 boats from Marlowe. We've got an Ocean Alexander, 85 feet. We've got some nice pontoon boats. We've got Makos, a Palm Beach Classic. There's so many new boats on display this year. And if you're looking for all those, great marine accessories, we've got them, full inside the tents. And of course, we've got the Lighthouse cocktail barge right in the middle of the park, which is always fun. So it's going to be a great weekend.
Now, if there was just one boat you had to see, which one would that be?
I would have to say that the queen of the ship, the 101 Hargrave, is something that is a sight to be seen. But I particularly like the Ocean Alexander and the Marlows. They're beautiful.
Yeah. And as you say, there's something for just about everyone there. It's, we know the boating industry here on the coast is such a huge deal. And you've got just about everything covered from the boats to paddle boards, right? It's all there.
There's something for everyone, and like I said, for the kids too. So it'll be a nice weekend.
Well, let's show folks all the information they need to know about the boat show. It starts on Friday and it goes through Sunday right at Marina Jack in downtown Sarasota on the Bayfront. Admission is $14 for adults, and children 15 and under are free. And we hope they take advantage of the fishing clinic as well. Brett, thank you so much for being with us today, and best of luck. Have fun this weekend.
Thank you so much.
Our pleasure. We'll be right back. Well, let's get back over to the kitchen now with Chef Judy, who's fixing something delicious for us today, a spring dish for us today.
That's right, Scott. I'm making cream of asparagus soup, and I'm making it hearty enough with the crab meat on top that this can be your full meal with a loaf of crusty bread. So I've sauteed a half of sweet onion. You use the Vidalia. If you've noticed, some of the regular white Spanish onions as well as the red are coming in very strong right now, and you don't want it to overpower your soup. So we're going to basically chop up the asparagus and saute it. I have a little Irish butter. Truffle butter is wonderful in this soup. I just love it. So I'm going to give it a stir, and we're going to let this simmer for about 4 minutes. I don't want it browning. I just want to get it just slightly tender. Once you get all the flavor with the salt and pepper and you start to tenderize, then you're going to go ahead and add your chicken stock. So we'll go ahead and do that. And like I said, by all means, if you wanted to keep it vegetarian, you can just use vegetable stock. That's fine. So we're going to let this come to a bit of a boil, and then we're going to go ahead and cover it and just cook it down. Now I have an extra carton of chicken stock just in case I'm going to need it. Now let's come over to the shiitake mushrooms. I've wiped them off. I took off the stems. Shiitake mushroom stems don't break down. They're very woody, and you could chew them for 2 hours and they're still not going to be ready. So you just take those stems off. In here I have about a cup of just canola oil, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to fry these, and I want to show you because I already have some done, and this just adds a really nice texture and crunch to the dish as well. And I'm one, as you know, I'm one for layers and layers and layers of flavors. So we'll finish those, get them dried off on the paper towel, season them with salt and pepper, truffle salt, and then we're ready to whip up the soup. So what's going to happen next? Once the asparagus is cooked in the broth, we're going to add it to our Vitamix, which is so much more than a smoothie machine for sure. It's great for making soup. When you do blend it up, though, please use a dish towel besides the lid because you don't want it to spit out, and it may, and that's all you need right there. But this is going to be really easy and fun. And by the way, you could even substitute broccoli instead of asparagus. Stay with me. We're going to finish up this wonderful soup in just a few minutes.
So many times we underestimate the human spirit's drive to recover. We often see people surpass what any of us might have expected initially. The Rehabilitation Pavilion at Sarasota Memorial is the top of the line. It allows us to really bring the patient's recovery to the next level.
Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.
Bacon Furniture's spring clearance event, we've slashed prices on our most popular styles. Look for the red balloons for the biggest savings. Save 30, 50, even 70% off throughout the showroom. Bedrooms, dining rooms, sofas, chairs, recliners, and so much more. All at the lowest prices of the season. Don't miss the spring clearance event going on now only at Bacon's Furniture and Design in Sarasota. Nobody beats Bacon's.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
First time ever, this Saturday, April 22nd, 7 p.m. DeSoto Speedway. Koch Chevrolet's Night of Destruction, presented by attorney James Carter. School bus, figure eight racing, the Gunslinger Monster Truck, a demolition derby, and much more. Tickets on sale now. Go to tourofdestruction.com for info. Thanks to Steps Towing. Be there.
When you want to get away from it all, to a place where you can do everything, or nothing at all, surrounded by natural beauty and all the modern amenities you might desire, then you'll want to be here at the Wanna Be Inn on the beautiful shores of Manasota Key, Florida. To plan your escape, log on to wannabeinn.com.
Live from our studios on Florida's Suncoast, this is ABC 7 News at noon. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Welcome back. Survivors and family members are gathering in Oklahoma City today to remember their loved ones who were killed in a bombing 22 years ago today. In 1995, Timothy McVeigh and Terry Nichols blew up the federal building with a rental truck packed with homemade explosives. The blast killed 168 people, including 19 children, and injured more than 500. McVeigh was convicted of the bombing and was later executed. Nichols was convicted of conspiracy in connection with the bombing and is serving life in prison. The explosion was considered the deadliest act of domestic terrorism until the September 11th attacks 6 years later. A man goes on a shooting rampage, killing 3 people yesterday in Fresno, California. Police say the suspect shouted, "God is great," in Arabic as he was arrested. They're calling it a hate crime. ABC's Daniel Backus has more.
This is solely based on race, and it has nothing to do with terrorism.
The shooting spree starting just before 11 Tuesday morning.
We're getting reports of multiple gunshot incidences in the downtown area.
16 shots in multiple locations. Police say this man, 39-year-old Corey Ali Mohammed, walked up to a PG&E truck on North Van Ness Avenue, allegedly shooting the passenger multiple times.
We just got another call in of 6 shots fired.
Then, a few seconds later, they say he shot and missed someone before turning on Fulton Street, firing and killing another man. Police say he then reloaded at a bus stop, shooting 2 people and killing 1. The rampage ending when police apprehended Mohammed, handcuffing him and searching his pockets before taking him to a patrol car. Police say they've been looking for him since last week when he allegedly shot and killed a security guard at a local Motel 6.
As he was taken into custody, he yelled out, Ali Akbar.
For now, police calling the shooting a random act.
He made a decision to himself that he was not going to go to jail for shooting a security guard, that he was going to kill as many people as he could today, and that's what he set out to do.
Again, authorities say this was not an act of terrorism, but solely based on race. Mohammed is now charged with 4 counts of murder and 2 counts of attempted murder. Danya Backus, ABC News, Los Angeles.
New details this afternoon links a McDonald's restaurant with the death of murder suspect who posted the crime on Facebook. Police say Steve Stevens was undone by chicken McNuggets and an order of fries. Stevens had ordered the food, but the employee told him it would be a moment for those fries. When the employee recognized who Stevens was, she called 911.
He didn't want to wait for the fries, which was fine, but he took his 6-piece and didn't want any money back and headed out onto Buffalo Road. And about the minute he turned right on Buffalo Road, the state police was right behind him at that point. So it was, he couldn't have got more than, I don't know, 100 yards on Buffalo Road before the police were behind him.
Stevens died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. He shot and killed 74-year-old Robert Godwin Sr. on Sunday and then posted video of the murder on Facebook, calling himself a monster and blaming his ex-girlfriend for his actions. Fox News is reportedly preparing to cut ties with one of its star anchors. Bill O'Reilly is the subject of sexual and racial harassment accusations. The anchor reportedly settled some complaints, but the news has led to low viewership and a loss of advertisers from the show. The O'Reilly Factor. O'Reilly is currently on vacation from the show and was scheduled to return this Monday, but Fox News is no longer responding to questions about whether that still will happen. It'll be a near miss for planet Earth today. An asteroid will be zipping safely past us at a close distance of about 1.1 million miles. The asteroid is reportedly the size of 6 football fields. It's larger than the Rose Bowl. It's so massive, astronomy website slew.com named it The Rock after popular actor Dwayne Johnson. Although 1 million miles sounds far away, it's actually about 4 times the distance from Earth to the Moon. This is the closest an asteroid has been to Earth since 2004. And we're not the only planet that has winter. NASA's Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter captured the image of gully activity in Mars's northern hemisphere. Gullies are active in the winter because of carbon dioxide frost. Northern winters are shorter on the red planet and warmer than winters in the southern part of Mars. So as we learn more and more about the red planet.
Cool.
Yeah.
Still pretty cold.
Even in the summer.
Even in the summer, it's minus 60 or something, so it's chilly. We have some pretty not chilly weather around here. Again, above average temperatures. There have been so many days in a row of above average temperatures. And today, again, we'll probably hit mid-80s. Van Ways, the webcam put into motion shows a few clouds, but we've also had some sunshine today. Mostly high clouds is what we saw to start off the morning. Now we're getting a few more of the mid-level clouds building in. Those building in mid-level clouds caused by a big ridge of high pressure off the East Coast. Satellite view shows things are pretty quiet near our waters, but we have a new subtropical depression forming out in the Atlantic, which we'll talk about in just a few minutes. An easterly wind producing a few rain showers, especially in the southern tip of the state. Those showers will gradually be drifting closer to us, and I will factor in a chance at a shower later on today. We'll put it about 20%. That's mostly for areas south of Venice, especially around the mouth of Charlotte Harbor. I think north of that, maybe about a 10% chance of showers. And total amounts are really not going to be that much, fairly negligible. We do have some less humid weather on the way, though. It's going to look pretty nice, I think, in a few days. We'll talk about that in just a few minutes, Scott.
All right, John, thank you. Brexit negotiations are expected to start today in the UK. They come after the British Prime Minister announced the general election for June, which is 3 years earlier than scheduled. Originally, officials said the talks about separating from the European Union could start late next month. The Prime Minister is taking questions from politicians in Parliament for the first time since calling for that general election. Afterwards, lawmakers will decide whether or not to approve that vote in June. Here in the States, a Democrat takes the most votes in a Georgia congressional race, but President Trump is still claiming victory for Republicans. Democratic candidate and political unknown Jon Ossoff had an impressive showing in the red state, but he didn't do quite enough to avoid a runoff with the top Republican, Karen Handel. ABC's Kenneth Moten explains.
Today, the seat for Georgia's 6th congressional district is heading for a June runoff.
We will be ready to fight on and win in June.
30-year-old Democrat Jon Ossoff rising to the top, but coming up short in a crowded field of mostly Republicans. A special election in Atlanta's northern suburbs, seen as an anti-Trump movement by Democrats who want to take back the House in 2018. Ossoff on MSNBC this morning.
Washington's interested in what things mean for Washington. But if you come down here to Georgia, you'll feel the intensity on the ground here is about local issues.
Georgia on a lot of minds, including President Trump, who attacked Ossoff on Twitter before the election. Ossoff's Republican contender Karen Handel told CNN the president called her this morning.
He just called to say congratulations and encourage me and let me know that as we go into June 20th that, it's all hands on deck.
Trump taking credit, tweeted, "Big R win with runoff in Georgia. Glad to be of help." But it wasn't a big Republican win in a district held by the GOP for nearly 40 years. Ossoff received 48% to Handel's 20%.
The fact that this was a squeaker, narrowly beating that 50% margin, is not a good sign for Donald Trump. In this suburban Republican district, the Trump brand isn't selling.
But Ossoff, a former congressional aide, could still have a tough battle against Handel, Georgia's former Secretary of State. In the weeks ahead, expect more big dollars to pour into this race and more tweets from the president. Kenneth Moten, ABC News, Washington.
In consumer news, starting today, Walmart is cutting some of its prices. The retail giant will be offering discounts on thousands of its items ordered online. The catch is you have to pick them up at the nearest store. Right now, about 10,000 items are on sale, ranging from TVs to car seats. Walmart expects to have the inventory grow to more than 1 million items by the end of June. Starbucks getting more colorful with the latest Frappuccino. The Unicorn Frappuccino is made with pink powder blended into cream Frappuccino with mango syrup and layered with sour blue drizzle. It starts out as a purple beverage that's sweet and fruity, but if you give it a stir, its color changes to pink and the flavor evolves to tangy and tart. But the more you stir, the more the beverage's colors and flavors transform. The Unicorn Frap is at participating Starbucks stores through Sunday. Back to the kitchen now and see how lunch is coming along with Judy Gallagher. Hi, Judy.
Oh, hey there, Scott. I'm more of a purist, so back to my asparagus soup. I don't want it to change color or change too many flavors. I've blended the asparagus that we sauteed some onions and some good Irish butter or truffle salt, then cooked the asparagus, cut into about 1.5 inch pieces until it was completely cooked through. Then I put it in the Vitamix. It's nice and smooth now, as you can see. You're definitely going to add some more salt and pepper, and you can definitely add truffle salt if you want. Now, just to thicken it slightly, I've made a roux. That's just melted butter and flour, equal parts, and you stir it in the pot. What I did, I just emptied out the oil that I cooked the shiitake mushrooms in and did it right in there, because oil and butter, it's still the fat that you need. So just pour that out and you can use the same pot, make it a little easier. You can use a little half and half or a little whole milk in this. This is going to give it some more of that depth of flavor. And we'll just add in a little more of the roux, and we're going to put the heat up a little bit, because what we want to do is thicken the soup. If the soup gets too thick, or on day number 2, just add some hot chicken stock to it, and that will bring it right to the perfect consistency. Now, when we get ready to serve, I have lots of really good treats. So I have crab meat, I have the fried shiitake mushrooms that are so delicious. If you wanted to use this more as an appetizer, think about serving this soup in little shot glasses. I often do a starter course of soup in a shot glass, so it becomes more of like an amuse-bouche, which is really fun. Let's take some of these shiitake mushrooms and we'll just lay them on top here, again giving it some nice texture, and some crab meat, and then you can either use sour cream or creme fraiche. And I happen to love creme fraiche because of the richness of it, because you get that cream as well. And look at that, you just have a really beautiful springtime soup to serve, and I think you will really enjoy it. So I'm going to take a taste, and I'll get ready for Scalzi to come over and have a taste in just a minute.
The official Suncoast Storm team at ABC 7. We're here for you.
Why settle for less? Get more for your money at Sunset Subaru in Sarasota. Nobody beats Subaru in service, quality, vehicle quality, and overall quality. And ALG named Subaru the 2017 top brand for residual value. Now lease the most fuel-efficient vehicle in its class, a new Subaru Outback for just $229 a month, or get 0% financing with complimentary maintenance included. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
Being the caregiver for someone you love is truly a blessing, but sometimes you can lose a part of yourself. To be your best, for them and for you, it's important to have time to be able to recharge your batteries. When you call Tidewell Hospice, they can give you a chance to do just that, and with the peace of mind of knowing your loved one is in the very best hands. Tidewell Hospice. It's more than you think.
Since 1972, Sleep King has provided quality mattresses and accessories at the best discounted prices available. Top brands like Simmons, Sealy, Serta, Beautyrest, iComfort, and more. With available free delivery, free financing, and free setup and removal. For a comfortable night's sleep with same-day delivery, even if we have to carry it on our backs. Trust Sleep King of Sarasota. Buy it today, sleep on it tonight.
What to do when your heating or air conditioning needs service or, heaven forbid, replacement? Call Air Now today. We've been serving Sarasota and Manatee County since 1946. We offer $49.95 tune-ups, lease or finance options, and remember, service today or it's free.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Temperatures across the state are warm everywhere. 80 degrees in Tallahassee, Jacksonville at 81, 83 in Tampa, Fort Myers at 82, Melbourne, Orlando is at 84. Center of the state seeing some warmer temperatures, of course. 84 degrees in Arcadia, 82 in Wauchula, 85 in Mayaca. Then you get closer to the coast and it's slightly cooler. 82 in Bradenton, Sarasota. Venice, though, coming in at 85, 81 degrees at Boca Grande. We have officially at the airport an air temperature of 82. Dew point value has dropped just a little bit, now at 57. Expect to see those 60s come back to us here in fairly short order as soon as our winds shift from east to southeast, and I think they will today. Wind speeds are up just a little bit more than they were yesterday. And the reason for that is we have high pressure building in. The little trough of low pressure that impacted our weather yesterday continues to move away from us. Yesterday it was located a little bit closer to us, and that helped to trigger off a few scattered areas of patchy drizzle. Far out in the Atlantic, subtropical depression number 1 has formed, the 4th subtropical depression or tropical depression that has ever formed in April, according to NOAA. So that's pretty impressive in the complete annals of the history of hurricanes. Number 4. That's not shabby. This system is called subtropical because it lacks some of the characteristics of a tropical system, purely tropical system, formed from a non-tropical system. It does not have that warm core and the winds tightly packed around the center. But still, it's got some pretty strong winds, 35 miles per hour. No watches or warnings issued for this particular system as it's forecast to drift north and just fizzle out. Here's why it will fizzle out. Well, even though it probably will never gain named characteristics, be strong enough to be called a named storm. If it did, it would be called Arlene. It's still kicking up some pretty good surf out here. We've got some 11, 12-foot seas. In fact, we've even had some reports from satellite of 40-foot seas around there. But water temperatures across that region are still very cold, in the 70s. So very difficult to sustain any kind of tropical system without at least an 80-degree temperature. And with the 70s, the only reason this system exists is because it has some cold winds aloft that are helping to encourage the formation of thunderstorm activity. That's why it's a subtropical system. Now, it's not going to last long, because these areas shaded here in red are those ripping, tearing winds, those shearing winds coming at different directions, and they just tear thunderstorms to pieces. The system is moving right into an area of very large wind shear, which hurricanes hate. They hate wind shear, and they're going to get a lot of it in about 24 hours. So I wouldn't be surprised if by tomorrow evening, this system is no more. It becomes absorbed by another system. Well, for us a little closer to home, it's really all about two areas of low pressure to the north of us and a big ridge of high pressure sitting off the Atlantic coast. That area of high pressure noses in, keeping those low pressure areas at bay. We get the southeast wind, we get the heat and humidity, and we get a slightest little chance at a shower today, mostly to the south of the viewing area. And then over the next several days, I think we kind of dry out. And then our next best chance for some much, much needed rain comes on Monday as a cool front comes through and maybe slices through our humidity, Scott.
All right, sounds good. Thank you, John. When people started reading books online, many thought libraries would soon be a thing of the past. But today, our libraries are busier than ever. ABC 7's Linda Carson introduces us to this amazing Suncoast woman who's in charge.
The Sarasota County Libraries are one thing that makes life on the Suncoast so good. There are 10 libraries in Sarasota County, visited by some 10,000 people a day. Sarah Beth Kalajian is the director of the Sarasota County Libraries. She actually started her career as a TV journalist.
I worked for a few years after graduating from college at WCIA, a news organization in Champaign, and I loved it. I loved covering stories, I loved writing, I loved producing.
She's from the small Illinois town of St. Francisville. She graduated from the University of Illinois with a journalism degree, and while working in TV, she took a second job.
Well, I took a gig at a school, at a college, where I was teaching news writing, and also I was the only paid employee for the radio and television station. All the rest were students. And during that time, I could, as a faculty member, take classes for free.
So she got her master's degree, became a reading specialist, headed for the Florida sunshine. She'd visited Sarasota with her family, so she came here.
Got a job at the University of South Florida as an adjunct professor there. And then I started to explore the public libraries.
She began working in the Sarasota County Library System in the late 1980s.
And I started out in youth services, children's services, and then I went to the Fruitville Library when we were building that library as the manager, and then started to help with system-wide things.
She met her husband while working in the library.
He was on a city council committee, and they had some activities that they wanted to promote to kids and young people. And when he found out that I worked there, he said, I'll take that project, and he wanted to meet me. So we met at the library.
She worked on the rebuilding project for the Gulfgate Library, and it was recently named the most beautiful library in the state. And her life lesson?
Every single experience, when linked together, has helped me in the next experience.
And as technology continues to advance, this amazing Suncoast woman sees the library becoming more and more the hub of the community. Linda Carson, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Linda, thank you so much. Coming up, Julia Roberts' beauty goes beyond Pretty Woman, and an interesting survey could soon make it possible for Star Wars fans to stay overnight in a galaxy far, far away. Details next.
The official Suncoast Storm team at ABC 7. We're here for you.
I knew I could get myself out of this. I just needed some hope and some help.
I took the first step to recovery when I made the call.
Since 2014, Addiction Hope and Helpline has answered calls for recovery and treatment 24/7, 365 days a year. If you're depressed, drinking, using drugs, or taking pills, call now and talk to someone who cares.
I had problems just getting to sleep, drinking and using pills every night.
I feel like I'm losing control. I'm afraid I'll lose my job or even my family.
Most insurance covers substance abuse. You can get back on track. Call now for hope and help with proven gentle recovery programs.
I never thought that I could be somebody who didn't drink and use drugs.
I have something to hold on to for strength. I'm in recovery, getting the help I need.
Call 800-622-1941. 800-622-1941.
Hi, I'm Chef Judy. Every Wednesday morning, I'll be with the chefs at the Publix Aprons Cooking School serving up the most wonderful dishes. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday on ABC7's Good Morning Suncoast.
Are you Goodwill?
Yes, because when I donate or shop at Goodwill,
I am creating a job.
I am Goodwill, yeah.
So many possibilities worth exploring. Minnesota Flooring.
And for a limited time, Minnesota Flooring is offering you unbelievable pricing on tile and laminate. Porcelain tile only $1.59. Ceramic tile 99 cents. And 16 by 16 tile $1.19. Laminate flooring is only 99 cents. But these prices won't last. Don't miss out on these great deals. Hurry into Minnesota Flooring today.
It's the season of savings right now during the spring clearance event at Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota. Come shop the Suncoast's largest selection of new Jeep Wranglers, or stop by today and drive away in a 2017 Jeep Cherokee for just $18,999. And for a limited time, get America's best value, a new Dodge Journey for as little as $16,599. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota.
Need more space in your place? The More Space Place can help with Murphy beds that disappear to reveal a home office, living room, or den. Custom closets with designated areas for your shoes, bags, wardrobe, and accessories. Custom-built entertainment centers, garage storage systems, and more. The More Space Place has 3 showrooms next to Sonny's on US 41 South in Sarasota, on Lakewood Ranch Boulevard just south of State Route 64 in Bradenton, and on Tamiami Trail next to Panera Bread in Port Charlotte. Put more space in your place at the More Space Place.
First time ever, this Saturday, April 22nd, 7 p.m. DeSoto Speedway. Koch Chevrolet's Night of Destruction, presented by Attorney James Carter. School bus, figure eight racing, the Gunslinger Monster Truck, a demolition derby, and much more. Tickets on sale now. Go to tourofdestruction.com for info. Thanks to Steps Towing. Be there.
Well, I can tell you honestly, this is delicious soup.
Good.
Really, really, really good.
Thank you. And that little top of creme fraiche. Now, if you don't want to use creme fraiche, you can use sour cream. But like I said to you, the more butter fat content, the better it is. And just a little
the shiitake
dollop.
mushrooms, too, are so good in
Right.
there.
Well, I always feel with cream soup that you need some texture, right? A little crouton or something. But so you have the crab meat and the fried shiitake mushrooms, and then you have that crusty bread, a take and bake loaf. You can just kind of rub it around. And you can balance the bitterness by using both white asparagus and green asparagus.
Highly recommended. Recipe on our website, mysuncoast.com. Click on the dining link page. It'll take you right there with Chef Judy's instructions. Thanks, Jude.
Thank you.
Scott?
Thank you both. Kevin Spacey is this year's pick to host the Tony Awards. The actor recently starred in the award-winning Netflix series House of Cards. Producers say they're hoping to bypass any technical or human mistakes that scarred previous award shows this year, like the wrong winner being announced at the Oscars and sound issues at the Grammys. Tony Awards will be televised on June 11th from Radio City Music Hall and honors the best of Broadway. Julia Roberts is more than just a pretty woman. People magazine has named her the world's most beautiful woman. This is the 5th time the 49-year-old has claimed that spot, most recently in 2010. People's 28th annual World's Most Beautiful double issue will be on newsstands on Friday. An HGTV star is looking to open his home to the public. Drew Scott of the Property Brothers will be featuring his home renovation in an upcoming 4-episode series. In the show, he and his fiancée will be preparing for a wedding rehearsal dinner at their place in Los Angeles. The new series will premiere in November. Star Wars Land could be coming to a hotel near you. A survey was collected at the Star Wars convention in Orlando last week, and it turns out fans would be very interested in seeing a Star Wars boutique hotel where they could spend 2 nights in a completely immersive Star Wars experience. The resort would look like a spacecraft, and the rooms would have interactive virtual windows overlooking the Star Wars galaxy.
Something they've never done before. Think of it as a virtual cruise line.
There's no price of this possible hotel, but a Disney blogger thinks it would cost around $900 a day per person, which includes park tickets and meals. Star Wars Land will open at the Disney's Hollywood Studios Park in Orlando in 2019.
What's a ticket now cost?
Oh, it
like
just went up.
or something, right?
Well, the
300?
price of the parks did recently go up.
Just
a
over
little
100,
bit,
I think.
so-
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah.
Over 100? Okay,
So,
so 1,000
yeah.
is still pretty steep, I guess.
Would you guys pay
Expensive it is.
$900? Would you guys spend $900 to spend 24 hours in the galaxy? Good, I'm glad to know that.
I love the movies,
I know.
but
Rent
that's a little
them and have a
pricey.
little popcorn or asparagus soup and you're fine.
That said, it would be totally fun, though, I think.
Yeah.
I could so see you doing
Absolutely.
it, John Scalzi.
And a family would love it.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, $1,000 a pop.
Well, we'll just
speculation.
and we'll dress
we don't
you
know
up
yet.
as
Total speculation.
R2-D2, and you get just do it at a
That's right.
bed and
Be a
breakfast.
character. Yeah.
Anyway, beautiful weather shaping up for us, you know, maybe a scattered shower if we're lucky, but probably not. And then over the next several days, warm, sunny, hot, till we get to next Monday, maybe.
Okay, John, Judy, thank you.
Thank you.
Have a great day, everyone.
You love your couch and want to protect it from spills, food, and scratching, shedding pets. Introducing Couch Coat, the reversible, washable quilted cover that protects your couch. Shield against spills, wow, stop stains, and dirty pet paws and sharp claws. Plus, it's reversible with 2 stylish colors. Guaranteed to fit any couch up to 92 inches or your money back. It even has covers to protect armrests. Machine washable too.
My grandkids destroy everything, but with Couch Coat, my couch is always protected, looking as good as it did the day I bought it.
Get your couch coat for just $19.99. And it's reversible in brown and cream, like 2 couch coats for the price of 1. Order right now and you can double your offer. Get a second couch coat. Just pay a separate fee. Order right now.
Call 1-800-943-0710 to get your couch coat. Call now or go to couchcoat.com. So call 1-800-943-0710. That's 1-800-943-0710. Call now.